Tony, welcome to Gun.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? All right, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Okay, happy Friday, everybody. Let's kick off the weekend, baby, right here with us. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Good to see you. Hope everybody's well. Don't mind me. I'm still getting my camera angles set up here. Lou Prats is here, ladies and gentlemen.
What is up, everyone? Taking over for Rosie today. I won't be using as many words, but I'm sure the microphone will be thankful for the break.
Yeah, I heard your tits are just as nice, but yeah, definitely.
There.
But definitely, a break from. I might actually be able to say something today.
Get a word in.
We're just teasing. Rosie's
Yeah,
the
we are,
best,
Rosie.
and we hope she's having a great time on her vacation. Speaking of making fun of people, I don't know if you happen to catch. Last weekend, me and Don were here in the studio. Me and Don. And I every time I say Don's name, I just have to show the picture. Yeah, and we were in the studio here last Saturday. I think it was Sunday. And Laura Patton came in.
Oh, okay.
And she's having trouble with her butt.
What's up with her butt?
She's having like all sorts of weird muscle issues, and basically, the way you like brace yourself to start pushing.
Oh, okay.
When she does that, it doesn't push; it actually pulls.
It pulls it up.
Yeah, and so it's all going in, and she's had to get procedures, and
Serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh my! I thought this was.
No, we were having a lot. We were having a lot of fun at her expense, but she was serious. It was actually quite interesting. But the reason I bring it up is because then Don isolated that clip, put it out there.
Yeah.
She calls me up yesterday afternoon. Yeah, I think it was yesterday afternoon. She goes, my sons and all their friends keep coming up to me telling me that they saw me on video talking about my butt. She's like, thanks a lot. And then I saw her last night, and I was like, I go, really? A lot of people? She goes, yeah, everywhere I go, people ask me about my butt. I'm like, all right, sorry, Laura. So
butt has like a polar reversal. It's going the other way.
Yeah,
Wow.
But it's not like coming out of her mouth. It just gets stuck.
That sucks.
Right.
Yeah, literally.
So she, she was telling us they're like she said she goes like days, sometimes even almost 2 weeks without.
That's not good.
No,
that's not good.
So they've been taking it out, but they're also trying to fix the problem, and they're trying to teach her breathing techniques and I don't. She was telling us one story. This one doctor had a couple of fingers up while she's blowing balloons.
Jeez, I don't know what I'd do if I forgot how to shit.
Yeah, that would. You think you have it bad, and then you hear about that.
Seriously, I was going to complain about a couple of things, but not now.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Well,
I just couldn't. It's just terrible, but yeah, I don't have it so bad.
Well, I would send your thoughts and prayers to
Laura. Absolutely.
But,
Hey, the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Please hit the like and subscribe to our channels and share the link. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows on Gov's Comedy Club podcast. We got a bunch today. We had Coffee with the Dog this morning. We got us right now. We got Sports Bash with Peter Schwartz today at 1:00, and we got Don tonight at 8:00. 8:00? Yeah, 8:00. John Rusciello's watching. Andrew Fremder's watching. Finally, a Friday without talking about fries and soggy pickles.
all right, now I got
I'm not
subject.
Yeah,
That was my go-to today. Damn it.
so much for the soggy pickle conversation. Hello, Ann. Nice to see you. Okay, very nice. All right, you're a good guy to talk about this about. In fact, we just started talking about it a little bit before we went on the air. Do you? So yeah, which I hate that this is even news, but the big topic the past few days is Bruce Springsteen and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I don't care what Bruce Springsteen has to say. No disrespect. He's not going to sway any of my opinions on things. And if he wants to go up on stage and say a few words for a couple of minutes, and I admit, sometimes I'm like, just sing your songs. Other times I'm like, all right, you know what? It's only going to take a couple of minutes. Go ahead and say what you got to say. It's your show. Go ahead.
Exactly.
But there are plenty of people out there that are now mad at Springsteen. Trump himself is tweeting. the tweet was actually pretty funny. He called him a pruny old rocker or something. What do you think? Do you think these guys should just shut up and play, or do you not care?
I always thought that, but it's America. They can say what they want.
Right.
You know, that's the basis of what a country's founded on. But yeah, I think they should just keep their opinions to themselves, definitely. When it comes to that, I don't know if they're losing fans over it or not, but it might sway some people, but not enough to swing an election, I don't think. And
Right.
I think Trump's treating this as a distraction for something else, maybe.
Probably.
You know?
Sometimes, sometimes the conspiracy theorist in my head is like, oh, they're paying Springsteen to say things to boost some. He gets probably boosts some album sales and his own ticket prices, while the politician is like, let's take up the headline so they don't see that we're doing something over here. You know? I don't know. It
just leaves a bad taste in my. You know, I used to like him, but now when people get involved with politics, I just don't.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. A lot of people will, and even not just Springsteen, anybody. If they get political or they just say something controversial, it really does affect it, or it with some of them anyway affects their careers.
No, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes the other way with Kid Rock too. Same thing.
Right.
You know, people don't like. They just want to hear. Like me, I guess me and you are rare. I just want to hear them fucking. The reason I'm there is to hear him play, not to get into a debate.
Right, and that's. I just because they're rich and famous doesn't mean that they know better.
Nope. But
or
some people
have
think that, though.
Right, and that's the thing. And I think that's why Kid Rock's hanging out in the Oval Office, because they're thinking, people will like me better if I'm hanging out with Kid Rock. Meanwhile, the guy's white trash.
Yeah.
Who like. I don't know if.
And Beyonce was hanging out with Kamala, but she was like paid for it.
Right.
But everyone thinks because he's celebrity and hanging out, that's gonna get me more votes. Or
Well, that's the thing. Like
how about have substance and have something?
I don't care. Kid Rock. He had some good songs, but again, white trash was banging Pam Anderson. Like, I don't want to see our politicians hanging out with that.
I think I could actually get Pam Anderson now. She's been looking.
Yeah.
I think she'd go for me. What do you think?
I think, I think there's only one way to find out.
Do you think he's just trying to revive his career, or you think he's using it as that?
But I'm thinking the other way. I'm thinking, I don't want to see our leaders hanging out with.
No.
I want to see our leaders hanging out with the smart people, the people that qualify, not Kid Rock who sings. Like, you're not an expert on this stuff. You might hear a lot of things, and you travel and meet a lot more people who are probably telling you their stories and stuff, but that still doesn't make you an expert. We're blue collar workers, and we know what's going out there on the streets. We lived it. We know exactly how people are surviving. So that makes us, I think, even more experts than a Kid Rock who can hide behind his millions and hang around whoever he wants to hang around with.
I think that's why a lot of Hollywood, the Democrats mostly, use Hollywood as something to push their agenda, and they do it all the time. I don't know if they're being paid to do it or if they're being blackmailed to do it, like with this whole Diddy thing.
I am shocked that Diddy's still alive. I
am too.
Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to end up, just like Epstein, dead.
Yep.
There are people out there that think Epstein's actually still alive.
I think he might get off.
Well, yeah, I think he already has.
No, well.
Really? You think Diddy might get off?
I think the judge, first of all, they kept him in because of something that happened years ago. In 2011 12, there was some jury tampering and broke into a victim's house.
Oh.
And now the judge doesn't sequester the jury. They're allowed to just go home, go wherever the hell they want to go.
Yeah.
And he has a long reach, so who knows what. You heard it here first?
Well, you heard it right there from Lou Prats. Tom Kelly? He's a comedian.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
He's been predicting that Rex Human's going to get off.
Yeah?
Yeah. So if that happens, Tom Kelly predicted it. He's saying from the day one, he was saying that it took them 12 years to catch this guy. He goes, that's way too long. There's definitely going to be loopholes. You got the whole thing with the Suffolk County cops that were involved at the time. He goes, they're gonna. There's too many loopholes that they're. Yeah, he really feels that he's gonna be
no
free.
kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be very see where
Yeah, me
that
too.
goes.
Me too. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's check out the comments here. So I said Ann is watching, John is watching, Andrea is watching. Hi, Tony from New York. Hello, Andrea from, where are you from? Are you Texas? I don't know where you are. Fremder, random thought. Ann should send Laura one of her motorcycle seats. Very good, Fremder. So we have
I'm lost on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to explain this to you. So, Ann Rothney, she's a loyal. I don't like calling them viewers or fans. I always just say they're extended family.
Yeah.
So Ann's part of the family. She's in California. She watches every day. She watches pretty much all the shows in here. She's great. And a couple of months ago, I don't even remember how we got into this, but apparently, riding a Harley.
Mm-hmm.
And the vibration is, it's like the most surefire way for her.
Okay.
Yeah. So
a little different than a dryer, spin cycle, or whatever.
Exactly. Made me want to get a motorcycle. We tried to get Ann to do video for us to show us her riding a Harley and have its effect that it has, but we haven't gotten such a video yet.
You got to mic her up when you do it.
Absolutely right. So that's what Fremder's saying, that if Laura sat on a motorcycle, maybe that'll help her.
It'll shake things loose.
Exactly. Can you imagine? Like all of a sudden she just explodes and it's everywhere. So that's what Fremder's talking about. And John Rusiello, I know you're still watching. So Ann's birthday is coming up. She contacted me the other day. When is it, Ann? Is it Tuesday, June 10th? A little love fest. Ken Pichelle is watching. Hello, Ken. He enjoys the Hicksville T-shirt. Cool. Ken says, celebrities has always talked politics. It just carries easier now. Maybe if you have a poli-sci degree from an Ivy League school, but most of them have a fine arts degree from an Ivy. Yeah, exactly. Fremder, I heard Netflix is redoing the Epstein documentary starring George Clooney called Oh, She's 11. Yeah, you used that joke the other day, Fremder. Ann says yes, June 10th. All right, cool. Well, and it's funny, even like the Springsteen thing, what he said, he said what he said about Trump in the middle of a concert. Well, today on iTunes, you can now buy that.
Really?
That speech he gave and then the song that he sang after it. So.
Let's see how that does.
Right, but that's what I wonder. Like, was that the goal the whole time? Let me
been.
make some headlines and then I'll put, a couple of live tunes out and make some money off of it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. Make hay, all the sunshines.
Yeah.
This whole debate going on between those two for years.
Right. Yep. So that's, So I was curious, because I know you follow some of that stuff, so I was curious what you were thinking there. All right, what else we have going on here? Oh, all right. Here's, all right. Sorry, I knew I had more. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, just a little bit more with this whole Springsteen thing, and then we'll move on. So in New Jersey, there's a Bruce Springsteen tribute band called No Surrender. They're an 8-piece band that's been covering Springsteen and other rock acts for more than 20 years. They were supposed to play next Friday at Tom's River Hub. That's the name of a club. That's in Tom's River, New Jersey. The bar owner, Tony Rivoli, he canceled the event, telling the band that the bar's conservative clientele would be to play Springsteen music in front of the bar's conservative clientele would be too risky.
Right.
Yeah. See, now that to me, I think we're going a little too far here.
I know. Yeah, and these poor guys got to suffer now. How many gigs do they get?
Exactly.
This one's got to get canceled because of
and that's what the band said. This is not a political thing. We're just a cover band.
That's not what they shut out for.
Right. We're just a cover band trying to make some money. and apparently they must be a pretty good band. And I don't know anything about this club, but it says that they were going to get paid $2,500, which, anybody that's in the comedy music world on Long Island, you're not getting $2,500 unless you're playing like a really special place.
I do it for the art.
Exactly.
Yes.
The art and the love.
It's a point of pride that I haven't made a fucking dime doing comedy.
But when I see that one person smiling in the audience,
Worth it. Who cares if I'm starving that night?
and you always have Brian with you, so
Yeah, at least I got one person.
Yeah, but you're
Looking at
paying for.
True, it actually.
To do your comedy, you're paying governors because I'm sure he gets like chicken wings or something. What does he get?
He hasn't got anything lately.
Oh, okay.
I tried to feed him beforehand.
Exactly.
Fries and it's a little pricey.
What is it? Does he have a beer or soda? What does he have?
He has water, 2 bottles of water.
2 bottles of
Yeah.
water. All right, but you're still getting charged for that.
Yeah.
So governors has the 2-item minimum. So
I'm in the hole with this gig. Definitely.
as most of us are. So yeah. So
But do you remember years ago, was
Yeah.
politics even factored into shit like this?
Right.
Right. And now business owners got to try and think about, should I have these guys? Are they,
Right.
especially, I don't like it.
It's. I mean, we're kind of going to go off on another direction here, but that's social media.
Yeah.
30 years ago, Bruce Springsteen could say something, and maybe you'd hear about it if you happen to watch MTV or something like it wouldn't really be news.
Right. It would be in like a rock journal. Or
Right.
magazine
You'd see it
or
in Rolling
something.
Stone,
Yeah.
and that's probably the only place you'd see it. Or even, but we can go more on a local level. Remember a few years ago, Theater 3, which is a theater here on Long Island, when they put out on social media that they will no longer hire Mike Keegan to play their theater.
Right.
And
that
I don't remember what he
that.
said at the time, but that's all because
It
of
was
social
so-
media. We all get brave behind the keyboard. We all post all these things, and everybody and their mother gets offended.
Anonymity creates brave people. It
Right.
really does.
and that's it exactly. They get brave, and they when we were kids, before social media, people would be outside talking to their neighbors.
Yeah. Face to face.
And that stuff wouldn't even. Not that it would never come up, but it would be rare. I mean, how many conversations before social media would you have with somebody? And you'd probably go months, maybe even years, before you found out where they went politically. Like it just wasn't, unless maybe because we were younger, we cared about different things. Maybe I don't know. I didn't see it, and it just seems like a lot of people say that. Like I didn't see the grown-ups around me sitting around the table complaining once in a while.
Yeah,
But,
maybe once in a while.
yeah, they would. You're talking about other things, more pleasant things, or the news too. Back before the internet, we were talking before we went on the air too that we just don't know what to believe anymore.
No.
Where
I question reality now.
Right.
Look at time.
Back when we were kids, again before internet, you had 4 or 5 channels on the TV.
Yeah. God.
And they were all reporting, pretty much the same thing. It wasn't slanted one way or another. You weren't trying to guess who's telling. And the news wasn't, the president had this to say about, I don't know, big star at the time, about Robert De Niro. Like, the news now is this one said, and this one said, and this one responded to this one. Who cares?
It just creates.
Fucking cares.
It creates trouble, and fear. And
It's like high school
a lot of other
gossip.
things. Yeah, it is.
Trump said this about Springsteen. Springsteen said this.
Seriously,
Who
it's
cares?
like 8th grade,
Right.
girls sleepover.
Right.
It's like everyone's
Right.
gossiping.
The news at the time would talk about, whatever war is going on. Would talk about, a car accident that happened in your town. Like, it was actual news.
Right.
It wasn't this silliness.
Mm-hmm. Although I question the news even then. I remember I was in the news in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't. There was a case covered in the Bronx. And when I saw it on the news, I'm like, I was in the courtroom for this. I was like, was there a different case called? Because that's not what happened. what
Oh,
they were
wow.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, you hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but now this band, they just want to
I
go play
know,
music.
yeah.
They want to have a good time, get paid, drink a little, maybe, and like really, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous and sad that it comes to that. Like, and a guy like Mike Keegan who relies on his second job as a comedian,
Yeah.
that I mean, I don't even remember what he said at the
Because
time.
of that, I forgot her name now. The 13-year-old environmentalist. What the fuck was her name?
Yeah, what was her name? Yeah, I don't
How
remember.
dare you? That chick.
Yeah, right,
He
exactly.
said something about that with Epstein Island, I think.
Yeah,
But he shouldn't shut down a guy's career because of that. That's overkill.
and he's saying, they live in a red state, and his clientele is conservative. I don't know, man. Like even that, are you telling me that the people in the bar are going to get mad? Like it's going to
doubt
sway them.
Some people,
what I
yeah,
mean?
right.
Like they're there for a reason. They're there to have a good time. They're not there
Yeah.
to it's not an anti-Springsteen rally.
Right. And people, you just let them know who's coming, and don't show up if you don't want to hear.
And it's Springsteen. It's Jersey. It's
Boycotting
Springsteen.
Springsteen.
I have a hard time believing New Jersey's boycotting Springsteen. It's where he's from.
I know, yeah.
He's done a lot for that state. He's raised money. He donates. I don't know. It just sounds like a bit much.
It does. It is definitely.
Yeah.
And this was in the news.
Yeah.
This Times Everything. Holy shit! I didn't see it, but
Yeah, that's.
I don't watch the news that much. For
I saw it this morning. Getting ready for today's show. That's what I saw. So it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But moving on to all right. Let me read comments because I'm sure people are commenting about this, and then we'll move on. So technically, banging her from behind is like getting a blowjob at the same time. Whoa!
wow, we can't get
whoa.
over Laura.
Oh, well. He really wants to know. He really wants a lot of information here.
You should go to proctology school.
I wouldn't be
Find out all about it.
I have a feeling he's done a lot of research in that field. Ann says, okay, yeah. So John is in, and Ann's all excited. So on Ann's birthday, we're going to zoom in with them. Okay. Andrea says, it is so hard to believe that those Hollywood types have an honest opinion. Us regular people voice ours the best we can. Both parties are more than happy to get the support. Okay. Yeah. And believe me, I'm not. That's one thing that bothers me with Springsteen. Okay. Now, I'm a big Springsteen fan. I'm a big fan of his music. But. And he's been very clear where his political views are and
much, yeah.
what he supports. I mean, there's he's done a lot with Obama. They've done TV specials together. There's pictures of them together all the time. But I don't care what president or what leader we're talking about. They're all human. Nobody's perfect.
Oh yeah.
You're never going to fully agree with every single thing that person has
Absolutely
done.
not.
And that's my issue with Springsteen. Now, we can sit here and talk about or debate over, each president. Let's just go back the past 20 years, each president. We can go back and say who was good, who was bad, who sucked, who didn't suck, the whole works. But I personally think the reality is all presidents have done at least a handful of things that you'd agree with, even though you didn't like that particular president. So, but when Obama was in office, when Biden was in office, Springsteen never said a word.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was something that those gentlemen did that Springsteen didn't like. So, and I'm not a big Trump hater. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm not one of those people that like he sucks. He's the worst. He's got to go. But I do believe in being fair. Bruce, if you're gonna come out like this and go after, Trump,
do it, yeah.
well then maybe once in a while, you should have said something about, well, I love Obama, he's my friend, but I didn't like this. Even if he did that much,
Yeah.
I just think I'd have a little more respect for when he does come out to say something.
I guarantee Washington told a lie. Every one of them's got some kind of.
Right. I mean, there are plenty of people that didn't like Lincoln.
Right.
You know?
You know?
Kennedy, one of our most beloved presidents, he was banging all the time.
Banging, yeah.
I mean, it's a well-documented fact at this point that him and Marilyn Monroe, had a lot of fun. And those guys are jealous. But,
it's amazing how people overlook things when it's their guy,
Right, which it's gone too far, and I think on both ends. Because I think the blind faith is bigger, more at its height because you just go by party. You're part of that party, okay, and
Both
that's it.
parties
It shouldn't,
suck.
right?
Both of them.
Absolutely right.
I think we got to clean house and start over.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's what Trump is trying to do.
I think so.
I don't agree with everything he's done, but I understand the attitude of we need to clean things up. Like he's doing with Social Security.
He's doing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like it. I think he's doing a lot of good. A lot of good. Sometimes the way he says things, all right.
Yep.
It's a little much, but he's doing something at least.
He's active, which I didn't really get that sense during his first round. His first term. It was, there are presidents
surrounded by bad people.
Well, yes, and there are presidents where you do there are times where you're like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
What's he done? Where like him or hate him, Trump has been very active.
Mm-hmm.
You hear all the time what he's doing. What did he do yesterday? What he's doing today? And again, right or wrong, but at least the objective is the same for everybody. Is trying to make this country better.
Sometimes I wonder if Congress thinks that way because there's so
certain
many
people
things that could be done and they're voting against, and why? It's too many. I think too many corporations are involved with this and money, and they're so worried about how they're going to fund their next. Everyone's worried about the next election. Let's do something now,
right?
And let that take care of itself.
Absolutely right. Ken Pichelle, how many years did it take for the real meaning of "Born in the USA" to widely be known? Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. That song is he's criticizing this country, which I don't have. I do. That's one thing with Trump. He worries too much about what people are saying about him.
Yeah.
And the tweet, and like I said, I thought his tweet with Bruce was funny. However,
it comes across petty.
It comes across petty. It's not presidential to say the things that he says.
I do like him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I do. But it's like we have a big country we got to fix.
Right.
How do you even know what Springsteen said?
Exactly. If I'm the president,
I didn't know.
I don't want to hang out with Kid Rock. I don't care what Bruce Springsteen says. I have more important things to do. I don't agree when people get mad at somebody like Springsteen and will turn off his music because he's expressing freedom of speech.
Exactly.
Which is what this country is, it's one of our biggest things. It's what this country is based on. You don't have to agree with it, but you shouldn't get mad at him or even Trump. He's now criticizing Bruce. He's basically doing the same thing that Bruce is doing.
Yeah.
Bruce criticized somebody. Now you're criticizing him for it. He has the right to say it. Whether he didn't say we should go out and shoot the president. He did say some things that, what did he call him? It all just left my head.
Freedom of speech, but sometimes there is consequences to what you do say. And you got to be willing to accept that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, you're right. Oh yes, Greta Thunberg.
That's
who Keegan was picking on. From nobody likes Kid Rock anymore. If he fell off the earth tomorrow, nobody would give a shit. Wow, big words there. Andrea says, but yes, I really miss Walter Cronkite news. That's exactly what I was. That type of news it just seems to be gone. It just seems like every newscast you see is slanted one way or the other.
It should be just,
This is what happened.
Yeah.
That's
this
it.
What happened. I don't care.
Right. Whoa. I'm not reading that one.
Is it more about?
No,
Lord,
yeah, kind of, yeah. John Rusciello, retired court officer, greatest job in New York.
Oh, okay.
Would you agree with that?
When I did it, yeah, years ago, I got promoted since then, but now I'm retired. But
Right.
yeah, it was great way back when I was in the Bronx. It was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. I was right by Yankee Stadium,
Oh, that's nice.
and we used to shoot down to the tavern, Yankee Tavern down there.
Oh, sure.
After work.
Yeah.
You know, it was very close camaraderie. Softball team. In fact, I was pitching the same day across from Yankee Stadium that Dwight Gooden threw a no-hitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I threw a everybody hit. But softball.
Well, that goes
But
down in history, too.
I'm pitching and you hear cheering. It was the best, man.
That's
we're
crazy.
playing on broken glass, but still.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Fun.
We were just talking about that on. I don't remember which show it was this week, but we were just talking about the Dwight's no hitter.
Oh, well, yeah.
He pitched a no hitter. I think it was May of '96.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
That summer, I think it was August. I went up to Cooperstown. They had one of the balls
Oh,
from
yeah.
the no hitter. A month later, I'm at work and I was driving back to my garage. I was done for the day, and I'm on my way back to the garage. And the garage I worked at was a town called Greenvale, close to Glen Cove, North Shore, Nassau County. And I stopped. There was a Burger King. I don't know if it's still there. It's on Northern Boulevard, which is like not even a mile away from my garage. So it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I get out of work at 3, so yeah, heading back to the garage to clean up, go over the day's work with the boss, whatever. So I hit the Burger King really quick. Just, I'm hungry, let me get a quick burger on my way to the garage. So it's 2:00 in the afternoon. It's not a busy time for Burger King. So I'm the only guy at the counter. I place my order. I'm sitting there. I'm just standing there waiting for my burger. I hear the door open. A guy comes in. He starts ordering. And I'm just standing there. I got nothing to do, so I look over at the guy ordering, and it's Dwight Gooden.
No kidding.
It's like, son of a bitch. He places his order.
He eats like I do.
Yeah, exactly. He's human. Nobody behind the counter, he's completely, nobody.
Unrecognized.
Completely.
Yeah.
So he places his order. Now he's standing there too, and he sees me looking at him, so he just kind of nods. And I just said, Dwight, man, I said, congrats on the no-hitter. He goes, oh, thanks. I go, I was just in Cooperstown. I said, they have one of the balls. He goes, you were just up there? I said, yeah, like a month ago. I go, the ball is there. He goes, I'm so glad you're telling me this. He goes, I don't have any of the balls from that game. He goes, I was wondering where they
really?
are.
No
He goes,
kidding.
yeah, he goes, it's good to know that it's there.
Yeah.
He goes, I can probably get my hands on it. It's like, oh, all right, you're welcome.
You didn't get one? I'm surprised. Yeah.
He sold it for drug money. So
I need another one. That's what he meant to say.
yeah, right. Chop the ball up and break it into pieces and sniff it.
Sell a little baggie. Yeah, I got a piece of my game ball.
So he signed the back of my Burger King receipt. I still have it at home.
No kidding.
It's a Burger King receipt with Dwight Gooden's signature.
How is Coopertown? I've never been there.
You've never been there?
I'm going to go because my guy went
love
to
it.
high school at Craig Biggio's. And
Oh, you went to high school with Biggio?
Yeah. If I have a pencil I borrowed from him, I want to see if they want it. See if I can sell it to them.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
You got it a few years back.
Yeah, he was some player, man.
Yeah.
What was that, Kings Park?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kings Park. 84, he graduated.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you guys were buddies, or?
Well, yeah, I hung out with him.
Really?
Here and there, yeah. Not all the time. We were in football in KPY.
Oh,
when
nice.
We were kids. And it wasn't fair. He was so fucking fast.
Really?
Unreal.
So if somebody went up to him today and said Lou Prats,
Yep,
he'd be
he'd
like,
know
oh,
him.
yeah, I went to school with Lou. He's my
Yep.
pal. Really?
Definitely he know me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You ever see him at Shea or
I
anything?
saw him at Shea. We went down, towards field level when they were playing. I said, Beige. And, come over and say, hey, what's up?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But you never would contact him in advance? Hey, you get us into the game?
No, I got friends in security at Shea. I couldn't do that.
Better hooks than Craig Biggio.
Oh, yeah. Bitch couldn't do
Did you ever
that,
root
they
against
do.
him when he's playing the Mets?
Nah. Never.
Wow. Oh, that's
So,
cool.
Yeah. In fact, he was playing at Seton Hall. And I forgot what it was. Was he playing second? But they put him at short.
Okay.
For a little bit, and the second baseman gets struck by lightning.
What?
Like just when they switched, or a little bit after, one of the players got struck by lightning, and he was supposed to be there. Unreal.
That's crazy.
Seton Hall, yeah.
Wow, I've never heard that.
So
wow, did he die?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow,
if I died or not.
I knew a guy at the phone company because that's where I'm retired from. I'm trying to remember his name. His last name was Jeffries. He got struck by lightning twice on the job.
They say it's rare. How the fuck does it?
He
Can't hit lotto, but he can get struck by lightning.
Exactly.
Twice. That's
yep.
great.
I remember it well.
Sense of humor.
Because then the second time, like the first time he was okay. The second time kind of messed him up a little bit, so he had to like take an office job and sit at a desk all day. But yeah, so I don't, was it Jim? No, not Jim Jeffries. What was his first name? Oh, it's gonna bug me. But yeah, struck by lightning twice. Crazy.
Damn, man.
Craig Bid. Oh, that's cool. You do Craig Bid. Did you, wow. All right, that actually leads me to I have some baseball stuff to talk about today. Do you
I don't follow baseball.
You don't follow it? But you
I
enjoy the sport.
I used to play it when I was younger.
All right. Well, this is like light stuff. Stuff I think you could. Unless you don't want. I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Yeah. All right. Again, let me do comments here. Fremder, I was going to be a proctologist, but I couldn't find an opening. God. When it comes to presidents doing the right thing, sometimes you just need to say to yourself, "Hey, give me a shot." Because I mentioned Lincoln.
Oh man.
If Trump can go back in time, he can show Lincoln how to turn his head. Oh my goodness. So bad.
Abe, come here. You gotta go like this.
Yeah. Abe, don't sit there, Abe. I wouldn't know.
You're doing it wrong, Abe.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to do it myself if I couldn't say, whoa, friend, I'm not reading that one. Abe Lincoln has a lot in common with the guy sitting in front of Pee Wee Herman. Ugh.
Oh, man.
Awful.
I'd rather be Lincoln, I think.
Yeah, right, yes.
Psychologically scarred for life.
And then this last one from the no shitter.
Oh, man.
Scott is watching. Hello, Scott. Tony, wondering if you were a Game of Thrones fan, maybe next week you could have another walker, a White Walker. I never saw a single minute of the show, so I
liked it.
I have no idea what you're talking. What's he talking about?
Game of Thrones is White Walkers.
But what? Yeah, what's a White Walker?
It's you'd have to watch. It's like a zombie.
Oh, okay, okay.
They come every 1,000 years or something.
Oh, all right. I had a guy on the show yesterday named Tony Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Dubuque, Iowa. So we had a little contest on who's the better Tony Walker. And I think I won.
He's a corn-fed
Yeah, he's from Dubuque, Iowa. And yeah, he talked like that. It was his very first Zoom call and his very first podcast. Now, the very first podcast I can understand, but
his first Zoom call?
His first Zoom call.
Did you think it was like magic?
I was surprised he was able to figure it out.
Wow, they got the internet on computers now.
I even said to him, I said, your first Zoom call? And sure enough, he goes, I'm in Dubuque. What do I need Zoom for? Okay. And he's a musician who refused to play, which was kind of dicky.
Really?
Yeah, kind of ruined the whole thing. But then
I would have brought my bagpipes if you wanted a musician.
All right. Let's
do volume control on them. It'd be kind of loud.
Yeah, they are really loud, those things. I would love that. Why do I feel I saw you play? Oh, you sent me a video once?
Yeah, I think I sent you a video of it. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, next time we'll definitely have to do that. But you could probably stand right outside behind us.
Down the hall, whatever you want.
Oh, my. Yeah, then I think we'll both have cement boots from the owners of Governors.
How do you think it would go if I performing one night? That's how I went up on stage.
Oh, did it on stage?
Playing,
I think that would be awesome.
Minstrel Boy on the way up.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You should definitely do that.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Oh, that would be great.
James would be like, what the fuck is that?
I'm sure he'd be like, what the fuck?
I was doing that when I was in the Bronx. I used to get there early in the morning and march up and down in the middle of the hall, like the center hall where other people hang out.
Right.
And I'm playing, and one of the guys comes out of the office, goes, "What the fuck is that?" He goes, "I was wondering what the hell was going on out here."
And they just got used to it after a while.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just Lou again.
Yeah.
And now you got me thinking, like, there's got to be a way to work that into the act. I think that would be great. I'm a big fan of, different random shit like that.
Or if you just walk up on stage with them, do my show, not even address the fact that I'm holding bagpipes.
That's like, what's his name with the banjo?
Yeah, that's Steve Martin.
No. Locally. Bayer.
Yeah.
Les Bayer.
Les Bayer, yes.
He goes up there with that banjo. I don't even think he plays it.
Yeah, he just like twangs it once in a while, and
But I would swear there are times I've seen him where he doesn't even do that much. He's just holding it while he tells his jokes. I think that's hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, there's got to be something you could do with that.
That is random. It's just like you just go up.
Yeah, I would love to see that. We got to figure out something more to that, but that's really funny. But speaking of comedy, last night was the big night at the Huntington Cinema Art Center, where they are you familiar with this? They do this stand-up sit-down, they call it. They get a known comedian who will come in, do a little bit of his or her set, then they sit down and get interviewed a little bit. And this is all, you buy tickets, it's a live audience. The audience gets to ask some questions, and then
I never heard of this.
it's great. And then some invited guests get to come up and say a few words about the person. It's great. They've done it with Joey Cola. They've done it a bunch of different guys. I went for the first time last month. They did it for Richie Byrne.
Okay.
And I had an absolute blast. Richie had asked me to be one of the speakers, which I was floored. I was really honored and shocked. But I went, and there were, so many other comedians there, and everybody's getting up and say stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really fun. The guy that runs it, his name is Stephen Taub. I think he got a little upset with Richie but I loved it. Richie did his act. He took questions. People got up and said stuff. There were some videos shown. There was a video of a cartoon that Richie was doing. I think he was doing voices for it, but I think he was helped writing it too. And then he did. Him and some other guy wrote a musical together.
Oh, no kidding.
So that guy, the guy showed up to play piano while Richie sang some of the songs. So the guy Steven that puts it all together and hosts the event, I think for him it was a little too much going on. It was almost like a variety show.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I loved it. Because I love Richie's act. He's such a funny guy. He's a good guy. So it was fun to see these other facets, like
Other
seeing
things
you
do
your jokes and playing bagpipes. I enjoyed that kind of thing.
Talented.
Yeah. So it was just a blast. And Rob Bartlett put together for Richie's thing a documentary of Richie's life. Lou, my stomach hurt. I was laughing so hard. Joey Cola was laughing so hard at one point he fell out of his chair. And he was on the floor. I mean, I hadn't laughed like that in years. Rob, I mean, you know Rob Bartlett, right?
Yep.
You ever meet him or anything around here or anything?
No.
It doesn't really get much funnier than him. Like
he did a lot of stuff in his life. Yeah.
He was on Imus for over 30 years. He's been on Broadway several times.
My dad used to listen to him a lot.
Right.
The characters he did.
Right. And the characters were insane. And I missed that. Like that was his comedy. I mean, he started, here with Eddie Murphy and Jackie the Joke Man, and they would do characters and improv and just there was. You had Lenny Bruce, you had George Carlin, but you didn't have local comedy clubs until the late '70s. Eastside Comedy and Richard M. Dixon's. So these guys, they were just jumping on stage. And
I was gonna say, how did you succeed back then with no comedy clubs around?
Did
you have to?
I mean, but that's the thing. Bartlett and Jackie and Eddie Murphy, these guys, Bob Nelson, they were at the right age. They were, just starting to go to bars. They were, around 20, 21, and just starting to go to bars. And but same thing as the rest of us. They talk about, they played pizza places and they did kids' parties dressed up as clowns. Like, they did whatever they had to do to make a buck.
Haven't done that one yet. That's an idea.
Oh, kids' parties are rough. I'm actually trying to get out of it.
I dressed as Winnie the Pooh once. I got kicked in the nuts. I'll never fucking do it again.
Really?
I
Kicked
hate
in the
kids.
nuts? Yes.
I swear to God.
Child labor. It's the only reason we have them.
I don't know how pedophiles do it, man.
Yeah, right. We're the opposite. We're disgusted by
I
them.
can't stand those little bastards.
I did Quackerjack at the Ducks game once.
Oh, did you?
I'll never do it again. 6 hours of torture.
No.
Oh. No, yeah, same thing. Never again. I was so mad because I was sweating. Nowadays, there's more technology in these suits. Like, they have fans and stuff.
Fans, yeah.
I did it was the Ducks' very first season. So that's 99, 2000, something like that. And these costumes didn't have anything. And I've told the story on here before.
Except the smell of sweat.
Oh, I was drenched. I was so hot that the inside the mask, like, it was steaming. Like, and my eyes,
You couldn't
they fogged up. And so, I have the handlers that drag you around. This half inning you have to be over here. This half inning, and they just. You're working hard because you just have to go from one place to the other, and while you're traveling from one place to another, you're joking around with all the kids who want to see you.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the game, I was so far, and I pulled the kid over to me, and I whispered, and I said, "You have to physically lead me because I can't see." I said, "Take me by the feather, and lead me." I mean, there was even a part I had to run around the field. I had like a race, all the bases with another kid.
In the suit?
In the suit. I couldn't see a damn thing.
I'm surprised you didn't pass out.
Oh, it was close. I was so miserable. There were these guys throughout the game. I saw them like 4 or 5 times during the game. They were hammered. There was, I think, 5 of them. And they were trying to figure out if the person in the suit was a guy or a girl. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I had skinny legs. I don't know. But I had 2 legs at the time. But I was so aggravated that after the game, I'm still, in the suit saying goodbye to people and stuff, and I see these guys again. And they're making fun of me, carrying on. I walk over to them. I actually wave in character, I wave. They come over, and I lean in, and I made sure there's nobody else around, and I go, "Do I sound like a fucking girl?" And they go, "Ah!" And they just laughed, and they took off. One kid, a little girl, comes up to me. I can feel that she's like pulling on my leg. She wants to, I guess, say hi or take a picture, whatever. But again, I'm fogged up, so I don't have like depth perception. So I go to look down to make eye contact and interact with her. But again, I didn't have perception. My beak, bunk, right on top of the head.
God.
And I was like, she was totally fine. Thank God she was
good.
totally fine. I actually stood there waiting for her to be like,
And you can't even talk, right?
so I just, patted her on the head and joked around with her. But awful. It was torture.
I'm like, holy shit, I'm sorry. It's like, that the duck cursed.
Yeah, right. The duck. And then to add insult to injury, it took the Ducks 2 I got $50 for 6 hours of sweating in that thing.
Get the
It took them
outta
2
here.
years to give me $50.
Unreal.
Yeah, it took them 2 years to pay me. Why it took them all that time to pay me? Maybe they thought I did a shitty job and didn't want to pay me. I don't know. But 2 years to get $50.
Waiting for the little girl's lawsuit to settle.
Every time she sees a duck. But anyway, so they did this thing with Rob Bartlett last night. So it was his turn to be honored at the stand-up, sit-down event at the Huntington Cinema Arts Center. Yeah, like I said, they've done them with Joey Cole. I think they might have done one with Ziegler, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Who, I don't know, doesn't really deserve one, but I'm just joking. But yeah, so last night was Bartlett, and I'll tell you, I was thrilled to be asked by Richie Byrne to speak.
Yeah.
But Rob Bartlett, again, who has been on Broadway many times, he's been on, major TV shows.
Yeah.
Imus for over 30 years. He's done it all. To be asked by him to say a few words,
That's amazing,
yeah. I didn't have any business being up there. Joey Cola got up to say a few words. Richie Byrne, Richie Minervini, who opened the East Side Comedy Club back in the.
Now you went there a bunch of times.
Yep, he owned that place. Adam Ferrara was he was the guy that washes the dishes and
He was a dishwasher there? Or
yeah,
like a busboy?
Busboy. I was having a brain fart. Adam Ferrara was a busboy there.
No shit.
Judd Apatow used to go up there and do sets.
No kidding.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I mean
man.
this was. Yeah, East Side Comedy Club was one of the first places. So that's where we were going. Yeah, all these guys, there were no rules back then. They were figuring it out as they go.
Yeah.
So they would jump up on stage and just do anything. They would take turns, telling jokes. Like, and they were even joking about it last night. They would say back then people, it wasn't a set routine of X amount of comedians and people go home. It was just like. He said,
really? That's cool.
They said that people wouldn't leave. So, a guy would be up there for a few minutes, tell some jokes, and then another guy would, maybe join him on stage, and they would do something together and just wing it. And he said, they were saying last night, there were times you had several guys who would just go up there to do maybe, 10-minute sets. And then once they were all done, people are still sitting there. So he said, there were a bunch of these guys. But was it Jackie or Bob Nelson? I think it was Bob Nelson, Bartlett, and Eddie Murphy called themselves the Identical Triplets. So at the end of the show, they would, and Rob Bartlett told the story last night. There was one night they went up because, again, nobody's leaving.
Yeah.
And everybody's drinking. They're in no rush to go home. So the three of them just jump up on stage and they take suggestions from the audience, and all of a sudden we're watching an improv show. And he said they were
Wild. I never saw that when I was,
Yeah, I by the time I was old enough to hit those places, I was towards the end. I think I was at East Side maybe only once or twice. I used to go to Chuckles in Mineola because I'm a Nassau guy, so I used to go there a lot.
Rich Walker was there, right? He used to perform there a lot.
I pretty sure I did see Rich Walker there. Yeah, I actually used to come here a lot too.
I think he told me that he's the one who got the music. They played before. That swing type of music, that he brought that to Chuckles, and then they use it here now.
Oh, is that right?
I think that's how
I never heard that story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, I remember seeing Rich Walker at Chuckles. I mean, well, that's the thing. I remember seeing all these guys at whether it was here or East Side or Chuckles. And it's just amazing to me to be friends with these guys now. Like,
yeah,
it's funny. I've told this before, guys our age, some of these younger guys, they just assume that like we came through the trenches with the Joey Colas and the Richie Burns because we're the same age as these guys. Mm-hmm. But and I think how long you haven't been doing it terribly long, right?
7 years.
7 right, 7 years, and that's exactly when I started in here. It was 7 years ago. I knew Joey Cola a little bit before I worked here because by coincidence he grew up with a cousin of mine. So we knew each other. I mean, maybe 3 times we saw each other and talked. In fact, I went to a taping of Kevin Can Wait once, and Joey was doing the warm up.
Oh, okay.
He came up to me after the show. He says, "Where do I know you from? It's been driving me crazy all night." So that's how little we knew each other.
Yeah.
So, but the younger comedians that are coming up now, they don't know, so they assume that guys like us are a part of them, But then with those guys, the Richie Burns and Joey Colas, we're the same age, roughly, but we didn't go through the trenches with them. We haven't been doing this for 30, 40 years like them. So we're kind of like in this weird place, like this little in-between.
Yeah, a little limbo.
Because we're not part of the new crowd that are, doing things differently, but we're not a part of these guys. However, these guys, not that the younger guys haven't been, but the older guys, they've been very welcoming. And yeah, right. I mean,
most comedians seem to me, in my experience, very helpful and welcoming. Yeah.
There's
got your assholes here and there.
Exactly, but for the most part, and I'm talking, even if it is a local or even some of the big national acts, these guys have been super nice.
Adam Ferrara, I met him back here.
Oh, what a great dude!
So great.
Such a
nice.
great guy. and that's a thing. So, and that's actually one of the things I said last night when I spoke for Rob, because it's kind of a weird thing. So I didn't go through the trenches with these guys. I grew up all these years watching them as a fan of their work. So it's great to be their friends because even apart from the comedy, they're just great guys. But I can't help but still be a little bit of a fan because I've enjoyed their work for such a long time. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Joey Cola.
Is that nerve-wracking? Like you've seen him for years, and then all of a sudden you're interviewing him, and it's like
I think with Joey and with Richie Byrne, I think those two guys the most I've been able to kind of shake the fan part, and now I can look at them as a normal human being and as a friend. Because especially Joey. Joey, he's been just such a mentor as well. I mean, he brought me to when he was warming up for Rachel Ray. He brought me down there a few times, and he's just been fantastic. And Richie too. Richie and I have a big love of music. We're both Beatle nuts. We're both weird, so we just we love to bust each other's balls. Yeah. So these and now Bartlett too. Bartlett has been so nice to me. He the first time he came in here, they were doing a benefit for Bob Nelson because Bob Nelson has been going through some health issues.
Years when I was a little younger.
Oh yeah, I saw him at Westbury Music Fair in 1986.
Did you? Yeah.
Him and Rodney, and now I'm in here. And they did the benefit for Nelson. They sat on that couch, Bartlett and Nelson. These guys had no idea who I was. They sat on that couch. They started reminiscing about the old days, told some stories, and then even did some of the old bits that they used to do.
No kidding.
And I'm sitting here like this. Right exactly where Brian is now. And I'm like, I can't believe this. Back when I was a kid.
That is wild.
When I was that age, like, seeing those guys was like the same thing as seeing the Who or McCartney. Like they were in my world, in my head, they were that big. So to sit here 5 feet away from them, seeing these old bits by these geniuses, and Christy Miller was here watching. I think Andy Plajanos was here. There was somebody else, but to sit here, get our own private show, only to find out. So that was their first time in here. Neither one of them knew me. I think they came. The door was open and everybody was here for Bob Nelson. I think Christy Miller knew them both and she convinced them to come in. And then I got to know Bartlett a little bit after that.
Yeah.
So when he came in for the first time by himself in here, like for this actual show, only maybe a year ago. And we got to talking about that night. That was the first time him and Nelson had seen each other in 20 years.
No kidding.
And but they were rattling this. I had no idea. You would never know. You would think they were still out there doing their act together somewhere because they just picked it right up and they were doing it. And it was cool. Amazing.
That is cool.
So, that's the thing. It's so cool that it takes a little time to get past that. Because I'm like, again, those guys are rock stars in my world, because.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you would see it the same way as somebody who appreciates comedy, a guy who does comedy. These guys were it.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah. So I did mention that last night. It's a little weird, but great, and it's an honor to call them friends. But yeah, at this point, I was still most of a fan longer than I've been their friend. So there is still a big thrill to be a part of this. And like I said, when Richie Menavini, Joey Cola, who else spoke? Forgive me for whoever I'm forgetting, but you see these guys get up and you're like, how the hell did
I connected with this?
And I'm not, and I haven't done a lot of stand-up. It could use a lot of work. Even at this point, I don't think I've gone up at all this year. So how the hell did I end up there? And it was just, and then, they're showing videos of Rob and people are telling stories, and it's just amazing.
That's great.
So I have some pictures.
I can't believe I met some of the ones I've met,
That is the thing, to hang out with some of these people. We had Shane Gillis sitting here. We've had.
Did you?
Oh yeah, a few years ago.
No kidding.
And what did he? And
I was just watching his show, his tires.
Oh yeah. We're talking to Shane, and Mario walked in. And Shane just kind of. And what did he say? He looked like. It was.
He could have
He said.
said on Shane's name.
Yeah, I think that's what I think he said. You look like if Webster and Michael Jackson had a baby, that would be you. I think that's what he said. It was somebody in Michael Jackson. I forget who it was. But yeah, Shane Gillis, Roy Wood Jr.
Yeah.
He came in, and he didn't go up yet, right? So he's in the.
He has some with autism, I think.
Oh, is that
I
right?
think he does.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, hopefully we'll get him back in here one of these days. But he was sitting here. They come to get him, tell him he's got to go up. He gets up and he goes, I'm loving this so much that I'm coming back after my set. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, I didn't believe it for a second. And nothing against him. I just.
Oh, right. Yeah. You just thought he was being nice and.
Right. He finishes the show. Boom. He comes right back.
Nice.
Couldn't believe it. Yeah. So, yeah, it is. I always say I'm not much of a star fucker, but I don't know. But I think I am. But
sounds like you are.
I enjoy talking to the. But that's the thing. I've always enjoyed. I'll go to a free concert in a park, and if I enjoy the band, I do. I like to go up to them afterwards. Hey, I really enjoyed that. That was great. It's me. It's just.
Yeah, it's.
I enjoy talking to these people that
Right.
the performers, fellow performers that put on a good show. I just enjoy talking to them. I mean,
Yeah, you kind of feel like you've been down the same road as them.
yeah,
that type of
exactly. Like,
thing, and,
like we're in the same world,
You know?
kinda. I mean, yeah,
entertainment.
a lot of these guys, like Shane Gillis, is he's in it in a much grander scale, but it's still the same world.
Yeah.
Similar, struggles to get to where he's gotten to. So I don't know. So it's not so much being a star fucker. When I met Brian May from Queen, I couldn't talk. I was
That's really.
yeah. Him and Mike Rutherford from Genesis, because I'm a big fan of that music. So when I met him too, I was like, holy crap.
Rutherford, he had a solo career, didn't he, too?
Mike and the
Yeah,
Mechanics.
Mike and the Mechanics, yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, and I've met Billy Joel. I've met other people. I've met Huey Lewis. I've hung out with Huey Lewis actually.
Damn.
And I wasn't
Name drop.
Yeah. Right. Well, I
I'm
wasn't.
sitting next to him.
You're welcome, Lou. But I was able to talk to them like normal people.
Yeah.
If I met Paul McCartney, I'd probably stumble a little bit. But so it is. It's more of just I appreciate what you've done.
Yeah.
And even these guys like Bartlett, which I'm sure these guys hear a lot of it, but just thank you.
Yeah.
It's appreciated what you're doing. I don't know.
You know what's funny? Talking to entertainers, he's saying, I brought my daughters to see these rappers, and they were not big time, but to my girls, they were like amazing.
Yeah.
So we're in the city, and one guy's performing. His name's Darko, I think his name is.
Darko?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he gets done, and these other two get on, and he's on the side. Like I'm standing in the back, and my daughters are in front, and I see him, and it's like, I talk to him. It's like, that was great. My kids love you. And I tell him, I'm a comedian. And I get on stage. He talked about how nervous they were first time.
Yeah.
And my daughters see that I'm talking to this guy, and they're like, you were talking to Darko. I was like, yeah, I guess so. But he's just a young kid rapper, He's a good kid.
Darko.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm whito? Like,
yeah, right? No, he was white.
Is he one of the Marx Brothers?
No, he looks like Chicken Little a little bit. With the glasses.
Wow. Well, it's funny. I used to think of that one kid that looked like Chicken Little. The one kid from American Idol.
Yeah, American Idol. No, was it not Survivor?
One
Big
of
Brother?
those.
Big Brother?
No. He was a singer, I think.
Okay. There was some kid from Big Brother that looked like him also. I'm dying to meet Kevin James because I grew up knowing his grandmother. Like I used to see her all the time because my aunt, my mom's sister, her husband's dad was married to her, so we used to see her at parties. Teddy, her name was.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to think if I even met him before, just from being at family parties because he was there. Because they lived out in Stony Brook or something.
That's correct, Stony Brook. Yeah. He came in here once. I was sitting in here. It was late on a Saturday night. Me and Joey were sitting in here. And earlier in the night, I saw a couple. We were in here with somebody else doing our thing, and we saw him walk by a couple times. But he had that flat cap, and he had his head down. I don't know who he was here to see, what he was doing, but he was just. I think he was in the green room. I don't remember who was playing, but he wasn't going up. But he was just hanging out to see somebody. and I knew it was him.
Yeah.
And then Joey was in here, and I said to Joey, Kevin James is here. Because, they obviously, have worked together a lot. He's like, is he? I said, yeah, I'm telling you. I saw him walking by. I said,
Someone really look like him.
Sure enough, this was all off the air. We weren't doing anything. Sure enough, he walks by. Mm-hmm. Joey sees him. Joey gets up. He bounces up. He runs to that door. He opens it. And I don't remember what he said, but it was just one word, and it was like an inside joke.
Oh, okay.
That him and Kevin James has. So as soon as, and plus Joey Colo, nobody has that voice.
I know.
You hear that voice, you know it's him.
Yeah.
So he yells whatever he yells. Sure enough, Kevin James turns around, comes right back, and in they come. So it's me, Joey Colo, and Kevin James, and I did he must have saw it all over me. I'm like thinking to myself, do I fire this stuff up and go live with Kevin James? And sure enough, he said, I'm not going to do anything today. I'm just hanging out. And I was, hey, no problem. He only hung out for like 5 minutes, but he seemed like the nicest guy. His brother has been on here.
Okay, yeah.
He's a nice guy, and he stayed for like an hour in here with us.
Oh, no kidding.
There were other people in here, so he didn't get a lot of time, but he was great. You probably have better chance of getting him, I would think, if you really tried to contact him or something. Yeah. And
I was supposed to be
funny.
on a show at McGuire's, and I couldn't make it. Something happened, and Kevin James was there at night, and I could have been performing, and I was like, man.
Yeah. There's been a few times he's shown up at McGuire's. He's done that here too. He just shows up and jumps on stage at the Giggle Room. There's a local theater. Oh, what the hell are they called? Cultural Arts Playhouse. They've bounced around. They've had different locations on the island through the years, but I think they still have a place in Syosset. And he still lives on the North Shore somewhere, and he has a teenage daughter that's trying to get into acting.
Okay.
They did a show. She auditioned for a show. She got a role at Cultural Arts Playhouse. I don't remember what the play was, but he was in it. But he made them he made sure he wouldn't let them promote the show with him in it.
Oh.
They come see Kevin James. It wasn't like that. It was just another one of their shows. Never once did they say Kevin James in, but he did the run.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I don't remember what the show was or what he played, but I thought that was kind of cool.
I just forgot to tell you, when I was one of the times I was at Eastside, Bob Nelson performing there, and I just wound up in the bathroom next to him taking a piss, and that was like the best moment of my life. At one point, I told him, as I'm pissed, I was like, should I say something?
Yeah, right.
I was like, great show. He was like, oh, thanks. And he's sweating.
Yeah, right.
And that was it. But supposedly, he talked to my uncle. Red Buttons gave him advice to work clean.
Oh, yeah?
And
you get more work, right?
Better.
Yeah.
And he took that advice, supposedly. I don't know who told. I don't know if it was Don Sill or someone told me. I think it was Don, maybe.
That's great.
But
you didn't think to ask him that when you were next to him in the bathroom?
Well, no, because I didn't know it at that point. This is way back when Eastside was open.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm not thinking. But, you knew he was your uncle at that time.
I knew Red Buttons was my uncle, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that he actually talked to Bob.
I would think, though, if you're in a comedy club, that would be one of the first things to bring up, though, no? Hey, by the way, Red Buttons is my uncle.
I didn't think of it back then.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm such an idiot. I could have been so far along in my
Did you know him well?
Yeah.
You did, huh?
Yeah. And,
I don't know, I don't know if you saw him a lot.
When he was in the city.
Okay.
I used to go to, when I was younger.
Yeah.
He had an apartment in the West Side. And we used to go there. But I had 2 apartments together, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he was doing all right.
Yeah.
And then he moved out to Bel Air.
Oh, okay.
Then I remember my sister ran away from home and wound up staying with him for about 2 months.
No kidding.
Something like that.
Oh, you didn't say, hey, I'm miserable too.
I'm
Let's go see Uncle Red.
Damn it.
Wow.
But they used to sit up at night drinking tea, talking, and he was very very cagey, very nervous person, like anxious.
Really?
Like he used to think people would be outside, or he was.
Wow.
He was worried about stuff all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there ever an attempt on his life or something?
No, I doubt it.
Wow.
Just that's the way he was.
Wow.
And you never think it.
Yeah, I'm shocked to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How long's he been gone?
2006.
Oh wow. Wow, it's almost 20
Yeah.
years. Wow. Yeah, he was a funny guy. He was one of those that showed up everywhere, like Charlie's Angels and the Love Boat,
Yeah,
Fantasy Island, those
Little
type
House
of things.
on the Prairie.
Oh, was he? Was he on that?
Yeah, he was on
that's
that
funny.
for a few episodes. In fact, that's how my cousin Amy, his daughter, is friends with Melissa Gilbert.
Oh yeah.
Or Half Pint.
Yeah,
whatever her
yeah, yeah.
name was.
Melissa Gilbert. Yeah. Oh wow.
They're still friends to this day.
I just heard they're bringing that show back. They're going to reboot it.
Oh, they really?
Yeah, I just read that somewhere. Yeah.
Because they both, she used to go on set, and they used to do school together on set. Her and Laura Ingalls.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I would probably call it out if I met
It's like the Bradys. You don't know their real name. It's just Greg Brady.
Exactly.
George Costanza. Well, just last week, Steve Heitner was playing the club. You have no idea who that is.
I do.
Banya. Now, does that help?
Yes, I talked to him in the hallway.
Oh, did you?
And I talked with him out in the
Oh, okay.
Because Fat Jay was helping him out. He was
Oh,
a little
right,
slave
right.
boy.
But that's exactly the point, right? No, 95% of people have no idea who Steve Heitner is.
Yeah.
You say Banya,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
That's when, because Terry McNeely was saying Banya.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? He's here? And I couldn't think of the guy's name. I had to look it up.
Oh, of course.
And
yeah.
then he's selling shirts, and he goes, "See, you just get one catchphrase, and you can sell shirts at governors."
Oh, Jay told me he between the 2 nights he was here, he sold everything he brought.
Did he really?
That's what Jay said. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. And now even and again I'm drawing a blank on his name, but Putty from Seinfeld, he's coming here, and I think August he's going to be here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, same thing. I'm drawing a blank on his real name.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you some of these.
Yeah.
Like character actors, you see them all the time. You know their face.
Right.
You just don't know who the hell they are.
Now, did your uncle give you any advice, or this was long before you?
It was before.
So
yeah.
So by
I wasn't
2006,
even-
you still weren't even thinking about
No,
getting into
like
comedy?
10 years after that.
Yeah, okay.
2016, 17.
But nothing, just anyway, just like talking, like maybe pertaining to life. Don't do this,
Yeah, he
like
said
because
don't
I
do-
did this in comedy, so don't do
Don't
this.
do entertainment. He says,
Oh, did he
"Don't
say
get
that?
into-" He
Really?
says a lot of traveling, a lot of
Yeah.
it's a hard. You got to really, really want to do it.
That's the interesting thing. Getting back to Bartlett, same thing. He,
Like it looks glamorous, but it's fucking hard.
right. That's the thing. Doing all that work and traveling like
Yeah.
crazy. I did a show up in Boston just 2 weeks ago. The work that I had to put in to do all the planning, the traveling, and we drove in the freaking rain all the way there and back, getting the hotels for everybody, and it's only one night. But I was like, this sucks. I'd rather be home with my family, and that was just one night.
Yeah.
But these guys, traveling all the time, it sucks.
Like they said, he was never
Yeah.
home.
But Bartlett, he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when he was 12. So by the time he,
Got to do all the traveling with that.
right.
Man.
So that's the thing. He very early on in his career, he was in his 20s. Got married, started having kids, dealing with Crohn's because it doesn't go away.
No.
It was just too much.
Yeah.
And he credits his manager because his manager got him the Don Imus gig. So that was
To keep him local.
that was a
Yeah.
way to keep you local. It was a steady, good paying job
Mm-hmm.
that allowed you to go home every night. And then from there, because of his work with Imus, it branched out to other things. But it all turns out to be local.
Yeah.
Any TV he did was in New York. He was on Broadway. It's in New York. So, and he would, even when he was with Imus, he'd go play a club locally on the weekends, but it was always local.
Yeah.
So he managed to hammer out a career in comedy locally. I mean, how
That's
many
hard.
how many people can say
You
that?
can't.
Right. him and Jackie, probably the only ones that come to mind immediately. Yeah, and Seinfeld, because but even he tours.
He travels around.
But probably around the time he was doing his show, same thing. Yeah, he was just in New York, I would think. But
I remember I was online on Facebook. I mentioned something in a comment, and my uncle's name. I was talking because his name was in there, so I said, "Oh, that's my uncle." And this woman, I don't know who she is, from Pennsylvania, was saying that she goes, "Oh, I can't believe that's your uncle." One time, when I was little, he came to our house because he was lost at some place.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to get there, and he just stopped at a house, and it was this woman's house, and they, had him follow him there, to where the place was.
He picked a random house
just
to ask for directions.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You knock on the door, you answer, and it's red buttons. Be like, what the hell was in my coffee?
Yeah, right.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, let's go back to some comments. Let's see.
Was Seinfeld ever here?
Seinfeld. Oh yeah, you don't know the story with that bathroom?
The big one here, the pink. Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah,
this one.
Yeah.
He was playing here. He complained that there was no bathroom back here. All the bathrooms at that time were public. That you share with the audience.
Right.
He complained that there was no bathroom back here for the comedians. So they went. So that's when they built that bathroom.
The Seinfeld bathroom.
And that's exactly what
great.
people who know it, they'll actually say that. So, the Seinfeld bathroom's right down the hall.
That's
yeah.
so funny.
Yep. He actually made it.
Now if I see him, I got to say I peed in your bathroom at Governor's.
He's been here a lot. He made one of his documentaries here. Comedian. How can you figure that title? Jerry Seinfeld, comedian. If you watch that
original,
you watch that documentary. That's filmed here.
Up.
He De Niro made a movie here.
Oh, really?
Actually,
that's another.
That's
one
called The Comedian. Another one who.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at separating the person from the work.
Yeah, I loved his movie. I can't. I'm sorry,
Right.
but I thought he was great in whatever I saw.
Yep, absolutely. Don't always agree with.
I don't agree with him a bit, but I wish he'd keep it separate like I do.
Right. The one thing, agree or not, that one award show, he just walks. He gets introduced. He walks out. First thing he yells is "fuck Trump."
Yeah, that's like
that was like. If you want to go up there and say, "Hey, I disagree with this, and this country shouldn't be doing this," he just this blanket. Fuck Trump. Like, come on.
It's just is another sign of pettiness. It's like, come on, just
right.
Don't you have other shit to like your next movie or anything?
You know damn well that's what's going to be the news the next day. So, by the way, while I'm on the news, I have a movie coming out next week. That's where they're going.
It's so alienating.
Yes. And you're not really helping your cause.
No,
I don't
you're
know.
not helping yourself.
Again, I have no problem. Fine, you want to take a few minutes to say something, take a few minutes to say something. These few minutes, aren't going to make a difference, in my life. It's not going to take away from something. Go ahead. Maybe you'll say something interesting that might.
Yeah.
I like to freedom of speech, based on what people are saying, also sparks conversation and communication.
That's the whole point.
So I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And I'm
That's
big
the
on
only way
that.
problems get solved.
Exactly. By thinking out loud and spitballing and seeing where it all goes, as long as it's done respectfully. So that's another reason I'm for it. I don't always want to hear it, but I'm for it. But again, when you just come out and say "fuck Trump," first of all, I think as recent as the 1980s, if you went on TV and said something so negative about our president, you would be, you'd be stoned, you'd be kicked out, you'd be, it's just. That's part of it too. Where's the respect?
Yeah. At least for The Office,
right? A few years back, a buddy of mine went to see Bill O'Reilly at West Bay Music Fair, and he mentioned Obama Obama was the president at the time, and he said something about Obama, nothing demeaning. He just happened to say his name for whatever story he's telling, and my buddy was telling me that the place booed. Bill O'Reilly, as we all know, is Republican, but he stopped dead in his tracks. And he put his hand up and said, hey. He goes, that's your president you're booing.
Bill O'Reilly, yeah.
Bill O'Reilly.
See, that's the way you handle it.
Exactly, and that's the mindset that we should be having. And again, same with Trump. He the way he, goes on Twitter and badmouths people, he's not being presidential, but neither, the people aren't respecting the office any. Respect is just, it's gone.
It's gone.
And it's disgusting. It's embarrassing.
We're not united anymore.
No.
It's not like years ago.
Right.
And I think that was engineered somehow.
Wouldn't be surprised. Would
know?
not be surprised. Laura should
Now
start
I'm going to catch shit for that.
Yeah, right. Laura should start a band called the Laura and the Busted Buttholes. And their first album should be called Patton's Pooper. Fremd is really obsessed.
This is all same.
It's all the same guy. Oh, question about the bagpipes. I hope this is real.
Sure.
I didn't read it in advance.
Okay.
Oh, it's not.
When you cup the balls. And
Yeah. Is the skirt for easy access
Oh, yeah.
for when you shit yourself blowing into that windbag?
Oh, no. It's easy access, fella.
Well, but that is actually smart because you're in a parade. I mean, the horses do it. They just dump
Yeah,
as they
right.
try. You can do the same thing. Oh, Danny boy. And you just keep on walking.
I've had that thing lifted so many times.
Really? What,
Oh.
people come up to you from behind and just lift
mostly
it?
women, mostly girls. Yeah.
Really? I'll be all right with that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Do you ever fuck it, I'm going commando today?
I had to. First parade.
What does that mean? You had to?
When in our band, the first parade you do, you got to go commando.
Oh, that's like the ritual?
Yeah.
The
it's
rookie?
Like a rite of passage.
yeah.
I have a joke about it with this,
Oh, really? I don't know if I've ever...
They said, they told me I had to go commando. I was like, all right, I'll play along. Well, long story short, one big gust of wind later, and now I'm a registered sex offender.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I remember that. And was it during that one that somebody lifted you?
No, that was at St. Patty's in the city. No, they had plenty of security and cops. Nobody came running up. But the little parades, girls would come.
I would go
It's happened
commando.
like 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would
One
either
time
go
they put a
commando.
sticker on my ass of a
I was
happy
about
face.
to say that, like a saying,
I had on my
show me yours now, or
my
something.
bagpipe case had happiness is under my kilt. Had a sticker.
That's good. That's funny. Wearing a skirt while playing bagpipes shows balls.
It does.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yep.
Takes
More
a
ways.
confident man to wear a skirt.
More ways than one. Yep. The way things are going, I wouldn't doubt it. If you want to listen to Springsteen's "Born in the USA," you're going to have to fill out paperwork. All right. So Scott, who watches the show regularly, he says Lou Prats is a breath of fresh air.
Oh wow! Thank you, Scott.
Very nice. Andrea, remember Eastern Onion? I had to take a kid's ball game. What? I had to go to a kid's ball game in this insanely heavy suit. Sing and get out without anyone seeing who was in the suit.
Oh, from the duck thing. He's talking about.
Yeah. But I don't know Eastern Onion. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
She says, "Remember Eastern Onion? Eastern
some
Onion
anime thing."
I guess it's some kind of it's a mascot of some sort. So you had to go to a kid's ball game in that suit, sing, and then get out. Wow,
you had to run around the freaking whole.
The field. Started home, like hitting a home run.
Didn't Don Sill do that?
Don Sill did that at the Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, he did it at the Coliseum.
What do they call that? That guy, he's got that body
Yeah.
suit. You
I
can't see
think
his
of the name,
face.
yeah.
The freeze or
There was freeze. It's that city. I'll call it Shea. I don't care.
Yeah, I hear
Shea
you.
Stadium.
yeah. So
Corporations suck.
yeah, absolutely right. So at the lacrosse, the Long Island Riptide that was doing a show at the doing games at the Coliseum, they were doing a parody of the freeze by calling it the sleaze, and it was Don. He had a mask, he had a cape,
Yeah.
and some kind of I don't know like white pants and no shirt because they said they wanted. And I actually think this Don had put on some weight at the time,
And he made it around. Huh?
Oh yeah, so they had him do it, race a kid around, but I think it inspired him to lose weight, and he did. He lost weight, so they weren't using him.
They fired him.
So Don brought in Jay.
Oh,
So Jay started doing it, and it's a true story.
no kidding.
Jay is out there waiting to go out, and he's just waiting. Sure enough, this kid, I think at the very most 13. I don't even think he was that old. Yells, "Hey, nice tits!" And Jay Jay's like, "What the hell am I doing here?" But they bring him out. He starts running, just like you said. he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
He stopped halfway and then walked. He walked across the field back to the finish line.
I quit.
Yeah, the kid I think had already
Yeah.
made it, so it was like, what's the difference? So he walked back. I was there. I watched this. So I found him afterwards. He was sweating. I even said, Jay, you all right? Like he was, when I saw him, he was still sweating and huffing and puffing. I was a little worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously he was fine. But
Damn.
yeah, funny stuff.
I didn't know that.
But no, Andrew, I don't remember who the Eastern Onion. Tell us who that is. John Rusiello agrees with Scott. Great co-host today, he says. If you don't have the right paperwork soon, you won't even be able to listen to Springsteen without getting arrested and deported. Ken Pichelle, Big Billy Joel news 5 minutes ago. Concert cancellations. Diagnosis of normal pressure hydrocephalus.
What the syphilis?
I don't know if I read that right. Called NPH. So he's
Is that why he's been?
Yeah. Well, he fell on stage a few months ago.
Yeah.
Canceled some shows to get himself back in shape. I did see some pictures. He's another one. He's lost a lot of weight again. But he was supposed to play Citi Field, Yankee Stadium, MetLife. He was supposed to play a whole bunch of stadiums in the area this summer. So what, Ken, they're all canceled?
Him and Springsteen, they do like these marathon concerts.
Yes. Well, I don't think anybody goes longer than Springsteen. All right. So Tony, how does it feel to have a co-host that you could actually engage in conversation with? Be nice to Rosie. If you had to use the bathroom at Governor's, mention Jerry's name and you get a good seat. Intelligent friend or comment. The mascot of this country, the bald eagle, will never fly successfully if the left and right wing don't work together. Look at you. Look at you getting deep. Oh, all right. Andrea says the Eastern Onion was a singing telegram. Oh, all right. I
heard of Western Union, but Eastern Onion.
Not familiar. All right. It is time for us to go. We got Peter Schwartz coming up at 1 o'clock. Real quick, down before we go, I just want to show some pictures from last night. So there's Rob Bartlett doing his thing. There I am doing. I was the first one to go up and say something. There's Richie Byrne. There's Joey Cola.
Jeez, what's the aggregate weight on that stage?
Yeah, there's a lot of cement. There's Christy Miller. Remember, Christy Miller used to have a podcast in here.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's John Ziegler.
Yep,
There's Laura puckering her up just like her asshole. This is Tugboat Manny. Tugboat Manny. Oh, and I'll show you the next picture, too. So that's pointing his finger at the camera. That's Richie Minervini.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, that's Stephen Taub, the guy that puts these nights together.
Okay.
Let's see. There's me and Lisa. I look ridiculous. And, of course, there's me and Rob Bartlett.
Yeah.
Tugboat Manny and Richie Minervini came up to me after the event, and they were saying to me how much they enjoy what I do. And I was like, blown away. I
tell you,
Tugboat's funny, man.
But he's worked really freaking hard.
Yep.
To get where he is. I remember seeing years ago he used to do shows with chef. What's his name? God, I forgot his name now.
Chef?
Yeah, he's a cook in an old folks home, and Tugboat used to perform for the patients there, like the elderly.
Okay.
But he would just all the time, just anywhere he was, he would just do a show, and
right.
He put in the time.
Yes, he did,
and it shows.
And then he eventually gets to places like Westbury Music Fair, where he performed with Carrie. All right, Ann is wishing everyone a great weekend. All canceled through mid-2026. Wow.
Jeez.
The guy's, 76 years old?
Pack it in.
I bet you we get, sometime next year, we get one final farewell show or something. Yeah. And then he's done. Wow. Peter Schwartz, coming up at 1 o'clock. He's a huge Billy Joel fan. I wonder if he knows.
Quick, I'm going to be here at
of course.
The Giggle Room May 31st with Terry McNeely.
That's next week, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. Who else is on that? Do you know?
Bonnie.
Oh, nice.
Scalise, Mandy Jones. Trying to think of who else.
Okay.
I can't remember the whole list of.
Well, we'll be
names.
pushing it all next week as we always promote the weekend, what's coming up that particular weekend. Ken Pichelle, good to see you, man. Thanks for watching. This weekend, Robert Hansen is in the Giggle Room tonight. He's a psychic medium.
He's a jiu-jitsu guy, too.
Is that right?
He's my teacher's teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Oscar Collazo is playing the club this weekend. Tommy Gooch is playing the club this weekend. Daniel Torado. Those are just some comedians you'll see on the governor's stage this weekend. Go to govs.com. Make your reservations to some great shows.
Thanks for the compliment, guys.
Absolutely. Lou Prats,
you.
one of the best you'll see on the local scene, man. So come see him on the 31st. And like I said, we'll be promoting that all next week as well. Oh, look, Rob Bartlett gave me this. He's a big Beatle fan, so he gave me this keychain. So that was my payment for talking last night. I would have rather taken the $2
with a key on it, and
yeah, right.
At least you got something from there.
Yeah, right. It would have been better if they were, the Maserati key attached. If I can grab this, here we go. If the Maserati key was attached to it, So govs.com, knockemdeadcomedy.com. Our next public performance, a Fun Murder Mystery Show, is June 6th at the Knights Columbus in Hicksville. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. That's everything. Friender, have a good one, everyone. Be well, stay funny, even when you're obsessed. And of course, here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, don't forget tonight at 8:00, Don Sill will be talking to Chauncey Hayden. Chauncey Hayden, he ran a magazine. I can't remember. Stepping Out magazine. The guy has. I remember that. Yeah, this guy ran it, and he talked to everybody. He managed to get credentials to, he basically snuck his way in to talk to somebody really big. I can't remember who it was. And then was able to fake his way through and just got his way in to talk to all these major stars. And it built up a magazine. He's had a whole career. He's talking to Don tonight. And then I think that's it. We'll be back Monday, even though it's a holiday. I don't know if Tyler's back from Italy. I just saw he managed to do a headlining spot at some club in Italy last night or the night before. Oh, wow. So we'll talk to him about that whenever he comes back. Jeff will not be here. Greg Halverson will be here. And a buddy of mine named John. He's not a comedian or an actor or anything, but he's just going to come hang out. Just like Jeff. Jeff does Mondays with me. He's not a comedian or an actor or anything. He just hangs out and he's fun. So if Tyler's here too, and who knows who else we'll get as we celebrate Memorial Day on Monday. And happy birthday. Today is my brother Frank's birthday.
Happy birthday.
He is 93. So, all right, everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy Peter at 1 o'clock and Don tonight at 8. Enjoy your weekend. And thanks, Lou.
No, you're welcome. Anytime.
May 31st. And yes, we'll, I want to make this like a semi-regular thing.
Sure. I'm tired. I can do whatever.
He's retired. What do you do with yourself? You just hang out with Brian all the time?
No, I do a lot of jiu-jitsu now. I do take Brian to a lot of stuff for him, like bowling and basketball, soccer. Get better looking every day still.
Well, that's a given.
Walking a lot.
Nice. Oh, good.
Cooking a lot.
Oh, you be in there kicking ass, man. You be going up to James. You're going to give me a spot, motherfucker.
Put him in a headlock. Come on, sir.
That'll be a sight. Holy shit. That's great.
Sam headlining.
Okay. Everybody have a great day. Thank you again. And we'll see you guys. Bye.